Well, welcome back to our studios, everyone, and welcome back to our preseason show with the Plano Independent School District. I'm Kevin Long. The judge, John Payton, in riding shotgun with us this evening, and we've been joined by Plano West coach Mike Hughes. First off, Coach, thanks for giving up date night and coming over to see us tonight.
Appreciate it. My wife's waiting on me right now, but hey, we'll get this done, and then I'll go spend some time with her.
Coach, I'm going to just ask you the first thing that popped into my head when I saw your opening round opponent. You know, I'm taking a look at Arlington Martin, and I look and I see two of their kids have signed with Oregon. Two of their kids have signed with TCU. Another one of their kids signed with Boise State. I mean, people will argue and say those are three of the top 10, maybe even 5 programs in the country. Clearly, they are armed for bear.
Yeah, they're really good, you know, but when you play in District 8-5A, you have to play strong opponents. You play a weaker opponent, it's not going to prepare you for a tough district. So in preseason, our philosophy is we're going to try to play the best competition possible, and it's going to ready us for our district play.
Well, Coach, you know, last year you talk about that, you know, how anybody can beat anybody. I mean, you folks were pulling up the end of the district and go over and play Allen and darn near beat them.
One thing that I took away from last season was that our guys didn't quit. Every game that we played, we were in and had a chance to win. We just didn't get it done. So we're excited about the 2011 season. We want to get back on the field and start playing again. And we were embarrassed about last season. It's not acceptable to us. So we're ready to get out and play.
Well, Coach Ringo just equated the district to the SEC of Texas high school football, which I don't think a lot of people would argue. When you got Allen ranked in the top team in the state, you got the Plano schools, the Flower Mound schools. That's a pretty rugged neighborhood, Coach.
Well, you better be ready to play every Friday night, because like you said, anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. It's going to be about 5 or 6 plays in the game that turn the game, and so hopefully you make those plays and it turns out in your favor.
Coach, we have the judge doing voluminous research all day. I mean, he's been on a website all day. As you can see, he's got all kinds of notes over there, pages of notes. So I'm going to turn it over to the judge, let him ask a few questions about some of the things he's researched, which has been quite extensive.
Well, first of all, I want to say to the audience out there what a great guy Mike Hughes is. You know, Mike Hughes and I met each other in the courtroom, actually, when he was a sub-school principal. I think you moved from athletics into sub-school, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, I coached and was a classroom teacher at Plano for 16 years, and then in 2000, Phil Saviano, the principal at Plano West, called me, and I went into administration for 2 years, and then after that, I was hired as the head coach at Plano West. So 2 years in the administrative role, and was 2 years that I wouldn't trade, and had a great time.
Well, what I like is I got to meet you and got to know you as a sub-school principal, and was pretty excited about you becoming the head coach.
And on that note, I appreciate what you did for my kids. No doubt you care about kids and trying to help kids, and that's what it's all about.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, I'm excited about Plano West this year. You know, I know last year you had that 0-7 start that nobody, you know, that's the elephant in the corner. But my God, the state's even excited about Plano West. They have your watch list of players that are up and coming at Plano West this year, up at 10 different players. Talk to us about this hidden pool of talent that people are kind of talking about, with names like Carson Smith, Carlos Wiggins, Austin Anderson, Parker, Jordan. Talk to us about some of these kids.
Well, we'll start with our quarterback, Carson Smith, who is back. He's a senior this year. Had a good season last year, but when you have your senior quarterback back, you have to feel good about that. He's our leader on our team and has really done an outstanding job so far, so we're expecting big things out of him. He's an athlete, 6'4", 200 pounds, that can run and throw it when he needs to. A lot of our games are going to be designed around him to run the ball. Carlos Wiggins, probably one of the most talented athletes in the district. He was second in the district in the 200 meters, was right there. Has tremendous speed and quickness, so we're going to try to get him the ball every way we can. Punts, kickoffs, reverses, every way we can. We have Bryce Cottrell, one of our defensive ends. Bryce actually played an outside linebacker for us last year. He's at defensive end this year. He's one of the top recruits in the country. We're expecting big things out of him. Our offensive line is back. We have 5 offensive linemen that either started or had significant playing time last year, and so we feel good about that. Our secondary played a lot last year. The safeties, Grant Cooper, Connor Vernon, the corners, Fuman and Rusky. So we have some players back from last year. We just have to go out and those 5 or 6 plays that I talked about in the game, we have to make those plays this year to get it done.
Well, as Kevin, talked about Arlington Martin, and you're right, they are highly talented, but you're right in that, by God, you better get ready because the district is highly talented to the extent that regionally we have 3 teams out of this district that are ranked in the top 25. The big team that is the elephant in the corner for PISD and has been for a couple of years now is Allen High School. They're ranked first in the state this year. They're bringing 13 players back that were all district. Last year, you were with them. I was at that game, and you were with them the entire game. Coach, what do you do this year? Because you're right, it's 5 plays. We're talking about 120 seconds can change the entire makeup of this game, even as of last year. What do we do this year to make up for what happened last year with us with just 5 plays or 120 seconds?
Well, one of the things we have to do is not turn the ball over. If you remember the game last year, right before half, we fumbled a kickoff and they gave them the ball right on about the 4-yard line right before halftime. They went in and scored and went up at halftime. So first thing we've got to do is take care of the ball. We want to our offense this year is going to be up tempo. We want to try to run about 80 plays a game, but when you do that, you can't turn the ball over. And defensively, we've got to play better defense. Last year we were 6th in the district defensively. So it's no secret. We've got to do a better job on the defensive side of the ball. We had to stop the run, and then we can't give up big plays. So we were good in the kicking game last year, probably the strongest phase that we had. So we're expecting to be good there again. But we've got to go out there and, hey, we're going to play Allen, Plano East. Everybody we play is good. So we've got to be ready to play on every Friday night.
Coach, one last question. I'm going to kick it back over to Kevin and let you get to date night so your wife doesn't have to wait any longer. A lot of the fans talk about, and I asked Coach Ringo the same question, a lot of the fans talk about, well, Allen is so good because their enrollment and they're only a single high school town. When I went online this year and looked at the enrollment for all the schools in our district, really the biggest schools in our district were Plano East, Plano Senior High, Allen, and then Plano West. Mm-hmm. So is it an illusion that the fans create that Allen's a single town and that's why it is? Or is it really, sometimes in high school we have prosperity, and sometimes in high school sports we have to learn so we can get better for the next season?
Well, there's no doubt Allen has it going on right now. They have the tradition. They have plenty of players. And I'll tell you what, Tom Westerberg, the head coach, does an outstanding job. And they do a good job, and they have good players. Don't get me wrong. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to go out and play them. We're going to throw everything we have into it. But they're a one-school town, building that huge stadium, and they have a lot of excitement. The kids believe they can win, which is a big part of it. So we're going to go out and lay it on the line, and what happens, happens. But I can promise you we're going to get on the bus. We're going to show up over there, and we're going to do everything we can to beat the Allen Eagles.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, and this is not a form of a question, but more of a statement. I'm just excited with the fact that what you got over there in the coaching staff. Coach Bandy, I mean, he was one of my football coaches at Plano East. You've got a guy that I played football with over there that his dad was my head coach, and Mike Bailey. Mm-hmm. So you've got one of the Bailey brothers over there coaching, and so I'm pretty excited about your coaching staff as well. They seem like they've got a lot of experience, Plano pride, and a lot of Plano spirit. I expect a lot of great things out of Plano West this year.
Well, I try to surround myself with quality people. John Bandy, who I coached against for years, tremendous coach. Joey McCullough, who played at Plano East. Ralph Hines, who played at Plano East. Brad Bailey, who played at Plano East. And of course, Kelly Mercer's the offensive coordinator. Mike Walta, my son, coaches for me now over there. Blake Hughes. John Lawrence coaches the defensive end. So, you know what? A lot of my job now is administrative role, hiring quality coaches.
Right.
But more importantly, I'm hiring quality people. And so, yeah, give those guys most of the credit, and they do an outstanding job. So I'm really honored to have those guys on my staff.
Kevin?
Well, Coach, you said you try to surround yourself by quality people. Right now, you're surrounded by the judge and I, so we.
Hey, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, we couldn't. Coach, listen, thank you for taking the time to come over and visit with us. Best of luck to you guys on Friday night. We'll be there. We'll look forward to see you there.
Well, I appreciate what y'all are doing for high school football.
Okay. All right. We'll be back with Coach Jadon McCullough, Plano High School, right after these messages.